hello, good morning po sa inyong lahat. Shall we start, Sheena? Well, because I've already greeted our audiences and there are many more coming, and it's gonna take a lot of time if I try to read all of it. But good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Just Success, where we get to bring people to talk about her life, her career, and her success in freelancing. And today we got Miss Sheena Gonyi Romero talking about her being a VA manager's, her having VA manager's advice to freelancers. Everything is figure-outable. Yeah, that's a word, ladies and gentlemen. And I will love this word, figure-outable. Ladies and gentlemen, sa inyo mga napakarami ng problema, lalo na pagdating sa freelancing, paano itong mga ganito, paano itong mga ganyan, parang hindi ko ata kaya, para ba sa akin ito. Those voices that you hear on your head, yan ay figure-outable. Lahat ng mga sumasalubong sa inyong mga doubts, figure-outable yung mga yan. All you need, ladies and gentlemen, is to watch today's episode because we got Miss Sheena here to talk about her story. So, how about you, Miss Sheena? What's your story?
All right. My story, where do I start? I'm 38 years old. My name is Sheena, and I am a founder of Pinay Virtual Assistance Group. And it's a Filipino group. So it's just amazing how you can have all these people, completing and fulfilling tasks from across the world. And, it's very, very, how do you say this? When people tell me that I comfort them or help them out or I make them feel like anything at all, I think it's the other way around. I always tell them that because I think it feels like, for me, I feel very fulfilled to be able to help a lot of women. And this wasn't, I mean, it was my intention, but at the same time, in the very first time I actually did this, I didn't know that it's gonna go anywhere. But yeah, so I think with all the women that you're seeing there, a lot of them are I invited a lot of them. But yeah,
Nice.
I think being here for 12 years, of course, galing dyan sa Pilipinas, di ba? Galing dyan sa Pilipinas, it's just different, two different worlds, but at the same time, may iba kong struggles dyan that I had to overcome. And here is a totally different story because I don't have anyone, I don't have real family here. Just it's my daughter, my kids, so that's how I mean, the family of my ex-husband and my late ex-husband and my ex-mother-in-law. She's been there as well, but yeah, just. I don't know where to start, where you actually want me to start, but coming from the Philippines, I guess, I am a product of, and the reason why I am kind of, maybe people look at me like I'm really strong is because of the things that I went through, as a child. I'm not even sure if I'm able to discuss this, but of course I know that there's a lot of women who might want to hear this. I'm
Yes.
a product of, it's not a good background. Like as a child, I got molested, and when I grew up, dito, right, I'm a product of violence, right? So parang ano tawag mo dito, yung hindi siya, it's just things that a lot of women go through. And I think that going through that and overcoming it, and before it would make me cry, right? So, but all throughout this years, I was able to learn that who else will help me out? It's just myself. And I'm sorry that I had to divulge that, but I want other women to know that, because they come to me, they message me and they say I'm going through this situation and all of that, and I never interfere with where they're at in their life. And I tell them, I'm not going to give you pieces of advice, but I'm going to tell you what my story is, right? Because at the end of the day, it's your timing. I can tell you get out of that relationship, but at the end of the day, if you still want to be with your husband, with your boyfriend, right, you're not going to get out of it. But I'm going to tell you that when, I went through that situation, and, I had to realize that what if my daughter grows up and she goes through it and she doesn't tell me anything just because she thinks that, okay lang na magkaroon ng ganong klaseng relasyon. That's a time that I was, I already like thought in my mind, like I need to find a way to get out of this situation, right? So I think, I mean, and that those are just few stories that I have that, that I can share. But other than that, of course, there's a lot of other things that I went through that makes me, who I am right now. So, okay, yeah.
Feel free to talk about anything, Sheena, if you think that it is something that would help any one of us. Because JasSuccess here is not just about freelancing, period. It's not just about helping other people, helping many Filipinos get a better life by monetary gains. It's not just about that. One of the reasons why we ask you to come here is for you to talk about whatever you want to talk about that you think would give a good impact to the viewers of today. So it really is up to you which part of your life do you want to talk to. But yeah. And since I ask you what's your story, what about we start with the differences when you started from the Philippines and moved to America?
Oh,
was it hard?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you know what? Ever since 2007, I did go to the Philippines just because of my friends. I'm not sure if you know All Stars, but they helped me get here. I just have one time. You know how you have multiple entry or one entry, right, in the U.S. So I went to California, and then I went back. So that next time when I apply, I can have multiple, and then afterwards, around 2000 and, fast forward 2010, I did get my US visa. And that's a time that, I got here. I got married with, with my late ex-husband at that time. And, being there in the Philippines, I worked so hard, but at the same time, I didn't get anywhere. I think it's because the mindset is, I have my mom. I had my mom there. Parang meron kaming mga katulong noon. Meron, there's someone to take care of me. Like if I, fall down, I know that there's someone who's going to pick me up. And I think in my mind, so at that time I encountered this book. It's called The Secret. And it's about, because I'm not spiritual, but it's about you attracting what you want in life. And my goal in my mind, kahit nung nagbubus ako, sabi ko nga sa PBA, nagbubus ako, nag-jeep ako, minsan nagwa 1, 2, 3 pa ako. And sometimes they laugh because I had a part of my life, especially in college. I'm from UST. It was just, I just couldn't see myself. I couldn't find myself. I don't know who I was, like what my purpose is. And, and in my heart, I know that each and every single one of us has a place somewhere, and, I know that there's something out there. So I did convince my late ex-husband to move here. And I did that, have that, that kind of relationship. But I thought that it was going to be different when we get here, right? So going here, it was just way worse, because, here's, I don't want to talk, so much about him because, of course, he passed away like 3 years ago. But anyway, it was just raised differently. And I had, I had that kind of relationship, and it wasn't healthy. And, I just realized that this is not what feels good for me, And I worked hard. Nag-ano pa ako, nag-under the table pa ako nung una kasi wala pa akong visa. So nag-under the table ako, naglinis ako ng mga kubeta. Galit na galit yung nanay ko. Sabi niya, bakit pupunta ka dyan? Para lang, may makakatulong tayo dito. And I was thinking, like, I had to have that. I had to have that realization that, I'm my own person, and I'm thinking about it, just, thinking of a child, pagka alam ng bata na hinahawakan mo pa siya, paano siya matututo, na maglakad. And I think having that realization that this is it, like, pagka itapon ko yung damit ko, no one's gonna pick it up or wash it. Like, I have to wash it myself. And, so I had to work hard. And, and those times when I was working really hard, I would cry all the time just because I couldn't sell. Because my accent was really strong. And, people would tell me, like, I don't want to be talking to someone from 8,000 miles away from here. Especially when I talk to someone from Alabama, and they would hang up on me. And I need these sales. I need money. I need to get out of there so that, because parang term sa amin ng anak ko is pabigat, ganun. And I had to, like, just find a way to get somewhere, And I worked really hard day in, day out, even the weekends, and trying to study, like, everything, like spreadsheet, like almost just everything, kahit IT stuff, I help out everyone with technical stuff, like anything that I can, I try to figure it out. And that's a reason why for me, everything is figureoutable. Even yung pag-ayos ng papel para magkaroon ako ng working visa, and, maging, I was the one who I had to read. So a lot of those terms I couldn't understand. It was just pure French to me. And I had to just sit down and, like, read it 10,000 times, and it was frustrating. But at the same time, at that time I didn't have anything else to do because I didn't have a job. But I would just read it and, just making sure that everything that it says there, I understood. And I was patient. I was very eager to learn and listen to people. How do they, like, just mimicking just everyone around me. And how does this person become so strong? How can they talk in front of people, very confidently? So I was observing everyone. And I mean, that's basically what, I mean, there's no other way, for me, there's no other way. So.
Oh, such a beautiful story. I love that you keep emphasizing on this thing about sinking or swimming. It's a choice between sinking or swimming. And for sure, you would definitely want to swim because you don't want to drown. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, may mapatagalog ako ng konti dito kasi alam mo pag meron yung mga ladies and gentlemen kayo mga nanonood dyan, dumarating tayo sa punto sa buhay natin, whether sa pag-aaral or dun sa pag-freelance natin, dumarating talaga yung punto na nalulunod na tayo. Nalulunod tayo sa sangkatutak na problema. I hope Sheena can still understand Tagalog here. Nalulunod tayo sa sangkatutak na problema, nalulunod tayo sa sangkatutak na hinaharap natin, responsibilidad natin. And ang base sa sinabi nga ni Sheena, meron din sa atin itong mga lumaki na laging may gabay, laging may hawak ang kamay, and some of us get spoiled. Right? Some of us grew up dependent. Kasi meron talaga sa atin itong mga sinwerte na sa kada apak sa buhay natin meron pa rin yung mga magulang or meron mga ibang tao dyan na nag-aalaga sa atin. Meron sa atin ang ganyan. And the problem with that is when you get to face your problems, your own problems. For example, nagkapamilya ka na. Alangan namang aasa ka pa sa ibang tao para asikasuhin mo ang pamilya mo, para pakainin mo ang pamilya mo. And sometimes it gets really, really overwhelming because wala kang foundation. Wala kang foundation sa paghihirap, pagtatrabaho, paghahanap ng trabaho, yung mga yun. Wala kang foundation doon. Kaya ang dating tuloy nun is ikaw ay parang nalulunod. Nalulunod ka kasi talagang hindi mo naman alam kung anong gagawin mo, kung paano ka makapaghanap ng trabaho, paano ka magkapera, paano mo pakainin ang pamilya mo. These things happen, ladies and gentlemen, whether it is happening to you right now or not. We come to a point where para tayong nasasakal. Para tayong, it's just too much. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we should not give up because Sheena here didn't give up. Yun nga yung sabi niya, it is sink or swim. And ano bang gusto mo? Kapag nalulunod ka, gusto mo bang malunod ka na lang ng ganun? Or would you rather learn to swim and save yourself ashore? Yun ba ang gusto mo? Kasi it's either pag susuko ka, wala, lalamunin ka na talaga ng problema mo. You will get to depression, who knows kung ano pang mangyayari sa'yo. But if you swim, if you force yourself to learn to swim, then chances are, aahon ka. Chances are, you will cross the river. Right? That is what Sheena has been through. Regardless of whether it is through freelancing or itong transition niya from the Philippines to the States, paano siya nag-survive dun sa States dahil hindi po Garden of Eden ang Amerika. Pagdating mo doon, kailangan mong magtrabaho ng gusto. Sa totoo lang, mas masarap pa rin ang buhay dito sa Pinas, kaya dito na lang tayo, mag-freelancer na lang tayo. At least dolyar pa rin ang exchange natin kung sa Amerika ang client natin. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is what she is talking about, the sink or swim, which, ladies and gentlemen, pag kahit gaano kahirap ang pinagdadaanan natin, dahil tayo naman may kanya-kanya tayong paghihirap, may kanya-kanya tayong mga benefits, pero may kanya-kanya din tayong mga pitfalls talaga, which sometimes ang bigat, na parang hindi na natin alam kung saan tayo papatungo. Anong gagawin natin para lang makaahon? We get lost in many places, even in freelancing, kahit itong mga nag-aaral pa lang, dito mga students natin, sometimes they get lost kasi yun nga, yung parang overwhelming. Nagtatrabaho sila, nag-aaral sila, meron pa rin silang mga inaasikaso, saan ka na? Right? But you just have to keep on finding solutions. Dahil yun yung ginawa naman ni Sheena. Naghanap siya ng solusyon, nag-aral siya, nag-observe. That is also a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you notice, Sheena mimics the people who are around her. Yun nga, sabi niya, nag-observe siya. Nandito na ang mga coaches ng VAB, nandito na ang mga success stories ng mga VAB. Why don't you observe them and see what are the good habits, what are the things that they have done for them to have succeeded in freelancing? And if you are good enough in observing that, then you will be good enough in applying what you have learned to yourself. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you continue on listening to Miss Sheena. Kasi ang itatanong ko, Sheena, what I want to ask you next is, what about your relationship in freelancing? How did you get across freelance?
Well, I came across it when, I actually purchased a course for it's the course that I purchased is more of business, but then of course since I want to have the end-to-end perspective, so I have business courses and also the freelancing and VA but the very first time that I purchased it, and I was there and they were saying like, go find someone from the Philippines. And that's what they keep on saying. And I'm like, and there were because I had a house, I just sold it kasi maganda yung market dito, right? So, and that's one of the reasons why I was able to purchase that kasi malaking 5-figure ang course na yun. But anyway, so they were saying that, and someone called me from the Philippines. He was trying to it's real estate investment. So then that's the niche, right? And this guy was talking to me about, you know, my property at that time, and he was saying like, "Oh, do you want to sell your house?" And I was like, he sounds like he's from the Philippines, and makulit siya, but he was like the very perky and you know, very positive and all that. And he sounds really good, and he was able to convince me, you know, to go to the next step, which is, you know, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like going towards acquisition. But then, of course, I was just trying to check and see, you know, where in that conversation will he take me. But I'm not gonna sell my house for that low amount, right? Because it's, you know, it's usually a lower amount. But anyway, so I did try to search for someone on Facebook, and this girl posted, you know, I posted her voice and a couple of other women. So there were 3 of them introducing themselves. I'm from the Philippines. I can get you this much, you know. And I was like, I need that person. I need to, you know. So I went in there, and, you know, this person, when I said I'm a Filipino, she never responded to me, and I was thinking like, golly. So I researched on her. I researched on all 3 of them, and LinkedIn. I stalked on them. I stalked on all 3 of them, and I couldn't find them. So I had to like just check and see, like do a reverse thing. Okay, where can I find something? So I had to look around, and then I found virtual assistants group, and I'm seeing like all these things, and then I saw, you know, some people posting there that they can offer their service. So I did get my very first VA there. She was really good. She was phenomenal. But anyway, so I from there on, then that's a time that I was able to really realize that, like, I can be doing this and at the same time helping out someone as well. So I kind of collaborated with that person. And then, you know, we were able to make like really great ideas and all of that. But we, you know, we kind of like fell apart. We kind of separated our ways. And but then, you know, I realized, because I started that PVA at that time. So she got the group for me, and I didn't know where to go. The first thing that I did was just post a video as to where, you know, I said there that I want to be able to help out, you know, anyone who wants. Kasi syempre, dito sa Amerika, ang dami ko nang in-interview mga ano, di ba, mga Amerikano, and nag-interview rin ako ng mga VA, and, you know, and I said that if you have a client or mai-interview ka na, then let me know so I can help out. And then all of a sudden the video blew up, and, you know, they had to stop my video because it was just too many people were commenting on, you know, on my video. So, and then that group said like, well, you might get overwhelmed with, you know, with all the people who messaged you. And, you know, 14th or 12, ilang ano na ba tayo? Hold on, I'm just checking on the group. But yeah, so I was able to, you know, to talk to more Filipinas, and I was able to just find my way to take care of, you know, all of them with, you know, with the help of, you know, few other women who was in there. So I was able to grow it to 12,400. I know it's not 100 plus, but, you know, I was able to get that help and be able to help out other women. And I thought that, you know, how can I do that by myself? But, you know, delegating is very important, you know, delegating your work. And that helps out other people to become responsible and become a leader and all of that. So, yeah, so that's what happened. I'm sorry, I blabbered around.
No, it's great. It's great. I would like to say that when it comes to helping people and giving back, the numbers are really irrelevant. What matters is you're helping people, right, Sheena? If you get to help even just one person, why should it matter if you have 10,000 views, 100,000 subscribers, something like that? Those don't really matter. What matters is you made an impact to at least one person, and that one person would be grateful because you existed and you raised your voice. Which brings me to what you said. Let me just try to give a recap here about what you just said. Pasensya na po, ladies and gentlemen, kasi Sheena is in America and you ought to, get exposed to straight English. Dahil yun talagang gagawin natin ito. Ito gagawin natin as freelancers. Kaya kayo mga bago pa lang, sino ba sa inyo ang mga bago sa sa freelancing? Sino ba sa inyo ito mga wala pang contracts? Could you please put it on the comment section? Who among you are new? Who among you are still starting up and interested in taking up freelancing? Because let me just warn you, ladies and gentlemen, marami sa atin itong mga medyo mahina sa English. And as Sheena said, we all started there. Hindi, whether we graduated in college or undergrad tayo, pare-pareho tayong medyo matigas ang dila. May accent tayo. Tapos yung nakaka-intimidate kapag native English speaker ang kausap, Amerikano ang kausap. Siyempre, dire-diretso ang salita nila. Mabilis pa. Tapos may accent pa. Tapos tayo hindi nila naiintindihan na hindi natin naiintindihan kung ba't hindi nila tayo naiintindihan. Yun ang natutunan naman natin sa school is we are speaking the proper way. Pero ba't hindi nila tayo naiintindihan? Yung mga ganon. So, ladies and gentlemen, occasionally we get guests here who speaks straight English and dapat lang na ma-expose kayo. I hope that you don't get intimidated. Instead, kung medyo nalilito kayo, just sit and relax and listen and absorb whatever you can absorb. Ang sabi ni Sheena, isa sa mga magandang sinabi ni Sheena is she got to discover women who gave their voice. Nag-advertise sila doon sa social media nila. Nag-advertise sila na, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. My name is, let me see here. Let me look at the comments here. Hello, my name is Lani Radiosa and I'm here as a virtual assistant. I can offer you this and this and this and that. Yung mga ganun ang ginawa nila. Nilabas nila, in-expose nila ang sarili nila. They tried to advertise, they tried to reach out to people. They presented themselves and offered their skills and that got Sheena's attention. Ganyan, ladies and gentlemen, ang pagkuha ng client, even if you are going to use platforms, di ba? Pag platforms, meron tayong mga cover letter, and you have to talk about how you can help them. Right? Ayan nga, syempre, nakuha ang attention ni Miss Sheena simply because you spoke up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really important. You need to speak up. Dahil walang client na magsasabing, uy, sino ka, Miss There? Sino ka, Miss May Montesa? Gusto kitang kilalanin. Meron ka bang skills na pwede kong makuha? Walang client na ganon. Ang client, dadaan lang dyan. Tapos biglang makikita na lang na, let's see, Miss Christine Abe. Bigla na lang nakita niya si Miss Christine Abe na, uy, meron sa kanya yung kailangan ko. Ganon, ladies and gentlemen. That is why it is important that you speak up. You expose yourselves. You express kung ano ang kaya ninyong gawin. Freelancing is sometimes as simple as that. Pag minsan kasi sa atin parang kinocomplicate natin na ano bang dapat kong pag-aralan para maging successful freelancer. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes that skill is already in you. You already know the skill. All you need is to show it. Okay? Kasi doon nila makikita kung kailangan ka nila o hindi. Just like Sheena here, merong tumawag sa kanya na nag-o-offer agad, makulit pa. That's tenacity as well, ladies and gentlemen. Kapalan ng mukha. Dahil sa kanila, hindi ka talaga papasa kapag hindi makapal ang mukha mo. Again, another lesson, ladies and gentlemen, kapalan niyo po ang mukha ninyo, dagdagan niyo ng 10 kilong foundation kung yun ang kailangan. If that is what you need, then go ahead and do it. But you just need to go out there and showcase yourself. Speaking of which, Sheena, let me ask you, because you're the one who get to learn it the hard way. Right? You get to learn it the hard way. What does it take for a Filipino freelancer to be known, just like you needed to speak up, you needed to learn to stand out amongst the crowd. So for a Filipina like you, where you came from, what does a Filipina need in order to stand out amongst the crowd?
And while you were talking, I was thinking of that moment when I had to get interviewed against people here who
Yes.
had how do you say this? They have project management. Like I'm not sure if you're familiar with black belt. So parang Six Sigma black belt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something big here in the
Okay.
U.S. Right? So it's professional. It's professional skills that you have to pay them 100,000 in order for you to hire them, right? So I was up against like a few people who have that experience, and you know um and of course the experience that I have is more of having that knowledge about the company, like just masyado kong ano to binusisi, parang ano lang kasi ako,
Mm.
mahilig ako magbusisi sa kahit anong bagay, right? Learning just everything that I can at that time.
Yes.
Even more of analytics, especially because syempre, you can't strategize if you don't have numbers, right? If it's not measurable, then you won't know how to improve it, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So numbers is like one thing that I would always look at. Of course, the facts and all of that. So having that and being able to know what I can offer. And I was gonna read you something because I saw this one ad. How you have algorithms, and I was looking at all
Mm.
these different coaching program kasi syempre dito sa Amerika yung mga coaches na lumalabas sa feed ko, and I got my attention got caught with this. It says here, people will pay more for your methods than they will pay you will than they will for your labor, right? So
Nice.
right. So I think
Yeah.
converting it in the freelancing world, or virtual assistants, or whatever I went through at that time competing with Americans, right, is being able to market yourself. How did you become successful in your
Mm-hmm.
in for example in lead generation, right? So I have a method. I'm able to give you 100 leads per day. I was on top of because we have that internship as well, and I would always give them that advice, like check and see where you're at. We have a scoreboard, this parang measurement, and if you're on top,
Mm-hmm.
then you can brag about it. I finished
Yeah.
first with generating 20 leads per day, and so it's about what's your achievement, like do you have the methods down, right? Even small things, kahit yung mga internship lang na pinagdaanan ng mga interns, I think that you can brag about it, because I have had those
Mm.
mock interviews where they say, ay, paano po, Machina, kasi po, ano lang po, internship lang po. Like, okay, but did you learn something, right? And that's a reason why you went through it, right? So,
Mm.
and I push my interns and I let them know, like, that's not that's not our target market. Change that right away. I kind of,
Mm.
I'm not rude, but at the same time, I'm going to be upfront. If you're not paying
Mm.
attention, because those small things, you will learn it, and you can tell them, I have attention. Now you can say, I have attention to detail, because when you went through your internship, you had to pay attention to detail in order for you to finish that internship. You are able to say that I was successful in my internship because of this, and that. So I think even if kasi karamihan ang problema nila, sinasabi nila, wala akong they want experience. Clients want experience, right? So
Yeah.
having that opportunity to
Mm.
get that internship is something that you have to brag about, take advantage of, because if you had met the numbers, or if you had at least good team how do you say that? Yung team working skills, right? You're able
Mm.
to collaborate with your team. That's something to brag about, you know. So it's just being able to know how to market yourself, being able to know how did you become successful at something, even it's in just small or just little ways. You have to learn how to not brag, but you have to build that value of what you're offering.
Yes. Yes. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why we encourage you to post even your small wins is because of what Sheena has said. You need to acknowledge whatever success that you have. What is the definition of success to you, ladies and gentlemen? Ano ba sa inyo ang success? Ang success ba is by the time you get a car, you buy a car on your own? Is that what you call success? Or when you build a mansion, is that what you call success? Or would it be successful for you if you finished a particular task without anybody else's help? Ikaw mismong nakagawa out of your sweat and with your time at flawless sayo without mistakes. Isn't that also considered success? Ladies and gentlemen, when you get to an interview, for example, even if they did not accept you, but you felt like you improved, you were able to open up, you were able to talk more, you were eloquent, you at least improved a little bit, then that is already considered success. Post all your small wins in our group in Flip, ladies and gentlemen, because that is recognizing, acknowledging your own success. Yan, nagbi-build up yan. Mahirap yung yung level na sinasabi ni Sheena that you need lead generation, those kinds of success. Yes, medyo mahirap yon, pero maaabot mo if you start from the small wins that you have. Never ever neglect your small wins, ladies and gentlemen. Never ever neglect the success, no matter how small. Never ever neglect those, because those tiny bits, if you build up from that, like Miss Sheena said, if you know how to build up from that small success, you will never know that small success will become great. Eh, maliit lang na bagay yan para sa'yo. So ladies and gentlemen, you got to own up to your success, okay? I hope that I really, really hope that you're listening to Miss Sheena. But I know that a lot of you are listening intently to Miss Sheena because a lot of you are members of her group. Now, Miss Sheena, kindly give me a couple of minutes to just give our audiences some reminders of what it is to come next. Let me just share this. Kung effective share. Okay, our announcements for today. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, our Flip, Chat, and Chill. Nakasama ko si Miss Sheena noon. And I hope that Miss Sheena will be joining us some other time as well, as long as she is available. How to start a side hustle while keeping a regular day job is going to be our topic for Flip, Chat, and Chill, March 7 at 6 p.m. Come and join us, ladies and gentlemen. Marami po tayong mga panel na mai-invite, and I hope that they get to share and you get to learn. Participate din. Kung meron kayong mga opinions, sige lang i-express ninyo. I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to express your comments. Take advantage. Mag-comment kayo na mag-comment para mapansin namin kayo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? See you there. Also, we got our fast track to freelancing going on March 5th. Every Saturday ito. March 5th is getting started with freelancing. March 12th, what skills you can offer online. March 19th is how to get a client even without experience. And March 26th is how to best handle client interviews. Again, this is a success. Once you participated in all of these 4 webinars, because you will get a certificate of completion. Pag minsan, kailangan din natin to, pwede nating ilagay sa portfolio. It will be an advantage, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you there. And okay, come and take a look at our website, vabootcamp.ph/enroll, kasi lifetime access na po ang mga courses namin. Why VA Bootcamp? Because, like I said, lifetime access na po ang mga courses namin. We have also this very successful project that we do, which is the Guided Hustle Challenge, helping you out, ladies and gentlemen. Once you finish our courses, we are getting here to help you land your first contract. Coaching calls is there as well, and we have a solid support system. We also have internships, katulad din ni Miss Sheena. We also have internships here. So why don't you just enroll? Check it out at vabootcamp.ph/enroll, ladies and gentlemen. We have individual courses here, Better English for Online Success and Getting Started with Blogging are both priced at $1,490, and all the rest are priced at $2,990. VA Bootcamp free courses are also available, and please, ladies and gentlemen, do not underestimate our free courses here, because they can definitely help you land a contract. Virtual assistance, SEO for beginners, social media management, e-commerce virtual assistance, intro to next level freelancing, intro to lead generation, email marketing, better English, bookkeeping, web design, and writing. Check them all out at vabootcamp.ph/free courses. And thank you very much for watching. That's it for the advertisement. Sorry about that, Miss Sheena. It took a bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah, we are getting close to the end of the interview here. So how about, let me just ask you, is there a question that I should have asked?
No, but I was going to tell you something, because of course I told you, I own like lots of different courses from $20 to, to 10K, right? And of course I got, the $300 course that VA Bootcamp has, right? And I was referred by Simon Robinson. Hello. He was the one who referred me.
Hi, Simon.
But
okay.
Yeah, so but anyway, so just going through, the courses, and I was there to para just to compare the difference, because I have this, one course na mahal, and the quality is there, and the layout of the course, and I didn't get courses until just lately, kasi ngayon medyo na-afford ko na, but before I had to wait, and I understand how, and that's a reason why I can't recommend that to PVA, because they're a startup and all of that. But I have a lot of courses, it helps me out. I review, I go there and check and see, what I need to learn. But I think that the quality of, and that's a reason why I did purchase this course, is because, it's close to the high priced, how do you say this, courses that I got from here, from the US. And I think it's really like awesome how detailed it is, and also how awesome that whenever you guys publish any details, it's just the content is very, very, how do you say, it's just very helpful, and it helps me out, just spark different ideas. Well, they're doing that, I can be doing this. Of course I don't publish the course of the bootcamp, because of of course it's not mine, but it's like just as a viewer, as someone, as a student, kasi student pa rin ako ng VA Bootcamp, right? Because I bought, that I think it's very, very helpful. Even yung small things like test ng mga personality, and connecting it to, to what's the best niche for you. Like those small things, those little details are very, very helpful. And I think that, if there's any course that I would, recommend to anyone, it would be VA Bootcamp. And, because I've owned other courses as well for VA and freelancing. And, I got this one instead, right? So I get the whole package. Tingi-tingi yung sa iba, diba? But this one, I got the whole thing, because, I saw the quality, and, with what Simon had said as well, it's really good, and the community, and just everything, like it's just open and not judging, and it's just amazing. The support system is amazing.
I'm so glad, Ms. Sheena, that you mentioned that. And ladies and gentlemen, even at her level, Sheena still took our complete course, and she's proud to be our student, and she loves our courses. I like hearing that, ladies and gentlemen. Kasi parang sometimes when I keep repeating myself, talking about these advertisements, talking about our courses, sometimes I feel like, is it working? are people really learning something? I want to know from the students. I want to know from everybody if it really is helping them out. Because to us, what else is the point if we are not helping other people? What else is the point if we are not able to help people succeed further in their career as freelancers? I mean, to me, that's how it is. So I am so grateful, Ms. Sheena, that you mentioned that. So heartwarming.
Oh no, yeah. It's I just
Okay.
had to say that because of course you guys pop up on my feed all the time and I'm like, oh okay, that's interesting. Oh that makes sense. Those small things that you guys come up with that like golly, like I could have thought of that. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's fun coming up with ideas and publishing them. And some people do have that same reaction. Like, wait, I already know that. Why didn't I know that? I should already know that. That's what they say, and it's fun. It's so nice because we get to remind people how easy it is if they actually just put their minds into it. Okay, it's your turn now, though, Miss Sheena. With all your experience as a client. Kasi ladies and gentlemen, si Miss Sheena, actually client siya. Kaya, client po si Miss Sheena. So as a client and as a student as well, a person who is well into freelance and virtual assistants, and as a person in America as well, what I think is the biggest advice that you can give our viewers today?
Biggest advice, tibayan yung sikmura. I mean, I mean, I cried so many times, but there has been times and nights that I couldn't, wake up. Parang exercise mo lang sa emotions mo, and you have to be emotionally intelligent. You have to be able to weigh, okay, why am I feeling this way? Who's this person making me feel that way? Is this really, is it, ano pa ba siya, reasonable pa ba siya na should I keep this person, right? So having that emotional intelligence will help you. Because naano ko yun, ano nung bata ko, umiiyak ako palagi sa ate ko. And my sister would say, ano mangyayari pag umiyak ka? And being here in the US, that's when I realized that I would cry. And it's just, those times, those moments that it's very painful. And I couldn't tell anyone. I didn't have anyone to say it to, kasi wala naman ako masyadong kaibigan dito, puro trabaho, pamilya, ganon. But, being able to just evaluate your emotions and find the solution instead of being proactive, instead of reactive. Focus on, okay, how do I make this better? Right? Like sit down. I talk to myself all the time. I talk to my heart. I talk to my mind before I react, because you're going to make a fool out of yourself. Right? And I've done that in the past. And, I sit down there, okay, and assess my situation, assess my emotions, assess the people around me. And if I have to cut off people off of my life, that's what I'm going to do. Like at the bottom, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm not going to waste my time. And the bottom line is, if you have to be out of my life in order for me to move on, that's what I'm going to do.
Oof. Amen. Amen, Miss Sheena. Amen. I love. Well, people here are offering their friendship to you. If you still are looking for friends, that is so cute, Miss Crystalline Keith Asay. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Alam niyo, ladies and gentlemen, ang buhay abroad talaga kasi, kaya wala kang kaibigan kasi wala ka ng oras para makipagkaibigan pa lang. Pakikipagkaibigan pa lang, ha? Hindi yung pakikipagkaibigan pa lang. I'm so sorry for that mispronunciation. But but yeah, you don't have time kasi pagkagising mo, trabaho agad ang nasa isip mo. You're going to brush your teeth. Even brushing your teeth takes so much time. Kailangan mo magtrabaho, kailangan mo maghanap talaga ng salapi. pera, and then pagkatapos ng araw mo, pagod na pagod na pagod ka, wala ka ng ibang gustong isipin kundi matulog. So when are you going to have time to say hi to a friend? Kaya ang hirap magkaroon ng kaibigan, ladies and gentlemen. Ganyan po ang buhay abroad. Something that I'd like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is compared to Sheena is so beautiful, and she seems to be living a fabulous life, especially that she is in America. Ganun pag-iisip natin sa Pilipina, ano. But what about this? Nasabi niya na mahirap ang buhay sa Amerika. Mahirap, na nakakabigla, nakakagulat dahil akala niya nung pagpunta niya sa Amerika Cinderella, biglang magically, poof, maganda na ang buhay niya. It didn't work that way. It didn't work that way. So it is still hardship. Why not, ladies and gentlemen? Pag-isipan niyo ang freelancing kasi nandyan na nga yan eh. Available na yan. It's just within your reach. Freelancing is just within your reach. Being a virtual assistant, working from home is just within your reach. Kailangan mo pa bang mag-abroad? Kung meron ka rin namang okay na trabaho na makakatulong sa'yo, magpapakain sa'yo, and even more than that. So who knows, pag marami ka nang naipon, makakapunta ka ng Amerika as a tourist. Who knows, right? So pag minsan kasi yung marami sa atin itong mga iniisip natin na wala nang ibang pag-asa kundi mag-abroad. And look, as Sheena said, mahirap ang buhay. Mahirap ang buhay sa abroad. So why not na magpasalamat kayo that you are given options now for you to grab. Nasa inyo pa rin. Kung gusto niyo mag-abroad, it is fine. But we have options here. You can study and take up freelancing, and tignan nyo kung mag-succeed kayo. You don't need to go abroad. And to those of you who still don't have jobs out there, nakita ko, ang dami mga me. I don't have jobs. I'm a newbie in freelancing. You know what? Be grateful because you are already here. You have already taken the first step. You are already aware that freelancing exists. Kita nyo si Sheena, parang ang tagal pa bago niya na-realize na bago niya nalaman na meron palang freelance movement dyan. Marami mga Pilipino pala dyan na magagaling dahil yun ang advertisement ng lahat. Magagaling mga Pilipino. Imagine that. And she is a Filipino. So where is she? Parang ganun ang nangyari sa kanya. Kaya pinag-aralan niya ng mabuti kung paano makipag-communicate sa Pilipinas, paano makatulong pa sa ibang mga freelancers sa Pilipinas. Pinag-aralan niya yan because she discovered that there is this community that we have. So magpasalamat kayo, ladies and gentlemen. Kahit wala pa kayong contract ngayon, kahit wala pa kayong trabaho ngayon, you are here and you listen to Miss Sheena, and I hope that you got something there. Be grateful about that. Like I said, small success na yan. Meron kayong natutunan ngayon. That is already considered success. Acknowledge that, own that, and use it. Apply it. Sheena, do you have any advertisements or meron ka pa shout out? You're on mute, Sheena. You're still on mute. There you go.
No, I was gonna say, like, I'm not sure if all the audience here is from PBA, but if you guys want to, I mean, we are just a support group. I go live all the time, even usually when I'm driving, and just to give those moments my assessment, and parang I'm giving them my whole life, yung kung ano talaga pinagdadaanan ko ng moment na yun, and how do I assess those things so they can sync up and be able to know, like, okay, so if I were in that situation, this is what I have to do in order for me to emotionally be intelligent and evaluate things. So more of like that, right? So but yeah, you can visit PVA, or if you're Pinay, or PVA group, right? So mga Pinay, mga Pilipina. But yeah, other than that, I don't know what else I can advertise. I mean, I've gone here before, and I'm a big fan of Phoenix. I'm a big fan of Carmi, and and of course Mr. and Mrs. Dulay, and I'm very happy to be here. And thank you for having me.
We are always grateful, Miss Sheena, of your presence because you are such an inspiration. Your story alone, bitin nga kung tutuusin because we want to know. We definitely want to know more about you, who you are, because that vulnerability that you've shown a while ago sparked up a lot of women here. Nakita mo, there were lots of comments talking about you and how strong you are. So I think, yeah, you are such an inspiration. And you did mention that you didn't have friends before, but right now, look at you yourself. You are reaching out to people and you're reaching out to people and say, okay, let me inspire you. See, that's such a difference between before and now. Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny because I still feel those feelings, but yung parang, am I getting anywhere with what I'm doing, diba? Kasi syempre, tingnan ko pa lang yung, una sinabi ko, parang, try ko kaya mag-freelancing, pero nung nakita ko yung sweldo, hindi carry ng bills dito. Iba kasi yung bills dito, diba? But anyway, so, but all the time, pagka nandun ako sa sitwasyon na parang I'm so drained, itulog. Itulog mo lang, di ba? And, it's gonna be better the next day. Palagi mong isipin na, ngayon lang to, di ba? Hindi mo, wag mong damdamin at yung buong buhay mo because there's gonna be, merong darating na, ang tawag mo dito na darating na solution the next day. Kung hindi the next day, magkakaroon siya ng solusyon. At saka pag pagod ka ngayon, matulog ka, umiyak ka, kung dapat ka umiyak, but, move on. It is what it is. That's all I say to myself. It is what it is. The brokenhearted, it is what it is. Move on.
Yes. Yeah. The thing with you, Miss Sheena, is you eat those for breakfast. Those disappointments, those heartaches. Oh yeah. See, that's nothing. Kaya yan, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you get inspired with Miss Sheena here because she is so strong, as you can see. Pero yun nga, the reason why she is strong is because she has gone through the tough times. So don't be afraid of the tough times. Darating at darating yan. Ladies and gentlemen, in freelancing, there's rejection, and there's downfall, there's pitfalls, there's failures. And those are just part of your adventure as a freelancer. Those will harden you up and make you tough and strong and be able to face your problems without so much of a aray. Walang aray. No, those are nothing. Parang ganun lang. Look at Miss Sheena now. Yan ang such a great example. I love it. Let me just remind you, ladies and gentlemen, Sheena was about to say something, but let me just remind you, ladies and gentlemen here, don't forget to share this interview. Kayo mga hindi pa nag-share, I know that this is already a routine here, but to those of you who aren't aware, well, why don't you share this interview on your wall and comment shared on the comment section down below. And with that, you will get her gift, SMM Resources. This is from Miss Sheena herself. And as you know, maraming mga galing sa PVA, solid supporters ni Miss Sheena. They can attest to the quality of the things that Miss Sheena will be giving you. So ayan, why don't you share this interview on your wall? Come and share it in the comment section down below. And automatically our our moderators here will send you Miss Sheena's gift here, SMM Resources. This is a really, really nice PDF, ladies and gentlemen. Sheena, was there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I was going to say, I don't ever take credit if it's not mine, but I gathered that with my admin, Sienna Cruzat. So thank you so much. She helped me put that together. But I was just gonna say, because I've always been in a private group, and it's not until this time that I really kind of opened up myself to a little bit more public. But yun sasabihin ko is, because there are people who say like, they say the term idol and all of that, and for me it's kind of feeling of overwhelming because for me I'm just sharing sharing my experience, and I'm focused on helping other people, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm kind of anything special more than anyone. I mean, it's just I'm just sharing what I went through, and I know for sure one day, and that's what I tell PBA ladies is that you're going to be sharing your stories next time, right? So I don't. That's a reason why I don't interfere with anyone's struggles. Kasi pag nandyan ka, merong mga nagsasabi, kailangan ko na, pwede niyo po ba akong tulungan, gano'n. You know, I tell them like, you have to learn how to. I had to. Merong mga times na walang-wala talaga ako, nangungutang ako, punta ako sa, tapos may tubo, mga 40% ang tubo ng and I had to like really, talagang kailangan ko magtrabaho, kailangan kong, I have to find a way na para hindi ako magkakaroon ng ganitong sitwasyon. At kung may tumulong sa akin ng mga oras na yun, then isipin ko, ay, may tutulong pala sa akin. So, okay lang ako, right? So, don't interrupt, and I mean, of course, magtulong ka ng isang beses or dalawa, but don't interrupt someone else's struggles, because they will find a way how to swim, and you can challenge yourself that way.
Ooh, that's so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we are always here to help you the best way that we can, but yun nga, there are limits of how much we can help, because we want you to learn how to grow on your own. Pati naman sa mga courses namin, if you don't study them by yourselves, if you just sit there and expect us to give you a client, we're not going to do that. We're definitely not going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, marami sa inyo itong mga nag-expect, especially yung mga newcomers. You think that you can just come here and we are just going to give you a client like that. It's not as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't want you to fail. By doing so, ladies and gentlemen, by simply giving you a client, is actually setting you up for failure, because you don't have the training, you don't have the skills in order to keep your job. So you got to learn how to keep your job first. And ladies and gentlemen, has said everything that she has said, ladies and gentlemen, is so great. And it's a breath of fresh air. And buti naman galing kay Sheena at hindi lang galing sa akin, because sometimes I keep telling you to toughen up, but it's nice to hear this from a very strong woman herself. All right, Miss Sheena, we are past the
I know, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I love our discussion. I apologize, because I have this nasty habit of going overtime all the time. So it's me. It's not you. Don't worry about it. But before we close this, any final words?
Nothing. I guess I don't want to misconception na because someone said here, learn and study the drills. Of course, you have to learn all of it, but pag na-gather mo na yung mga skills and everything, you have to like do it on your own, like you said. So I don't want that to be like a misconception na, no, ikaw na bahala sa sarili mo. Diba? Because there's so many information that we are giving, but it's up to you how to, put your own spin to it and make it your own, right? But that's it for me. I'm sorry, we're way over time.
That is still beautiful, because I keep saying that all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, there are lots of coaches here. There are many experts nowadays, and there are many successful stories nowadays. And the problem is sometimes I say something and Sheena says something else, and maybe Jason says something else, Carmi says something else, and it's okay. Just take a look at what works for you. Take a look at what works for you. And as Sheena said, it doesn't really matter if the information is just stuck in yourself. Kung hindi mo i-apply, wala ring mangyayari. Kahit anong ipon mo pa ng mga courses, kahit anong ipon mo pa ng mga libro, kahit ipunin mo kaming lahat ng mga coaches ninyo, mga experts ninyo, hindi mo rin naman gagawin, walang mangyayari sa'yo. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. Miss Sheena, I am so happy that you are here. I hope that we get to see you on Guided, Flip Chat and Chill. I'm so sorry about that. I hope that you get to join us on Flip Chat and Chill sometime when you are available. Carmi will be knocking on your door next time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching us, and hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've said goodbye so many times already.